What's up there, YouTube? How you doing? Just jumped on here, talk about the shit going on in Washington, D.C. and pretty soon all over the nation. I don't think it's something we should take too lightly. Something big is happening, and not a good thing. Okay? Yeah, you can take people off the streets, might need help. Most of them do. A lot of them do. However, they still have their freedom, and you're changing the law without changing the law. As far as I know, there's no crime in being poor and homeless. There are a lot of people out there that can't afford this fucking ridiculously high rent anymore. Okay? They might not even smoke cigarettes, let alone do any kind of drugs. They might not be, criminals or whatever the hell, but yet you're going to label them that just so you can do a dragnet and sweep all the people off the streets. That's where we're heading. This is martial law, and it's followed up by FEMA camps. They'll call them something different, but it's the same principle. And they've been wanting to do this to us for 4 or 5 years, probably longer, really. But I mean, they were talking about it right around the time of COVID pandemic. Over and over, hearing about martial law, or not martial law, no, FEMA camps and all this. And you saw how FEMA treated American citizens when we had floods and fires. They didn't do shit for them. The fact is, when other Americans picked up and tried to help them, fill in, where needed, they were told not to. They're told to back off. Okay? Why is that? Because that causes unity in our country. When people come together and help each other. That's the way it was 9/11. People got up and worked together, and we were one as a nation. They want divide and conquer. They don't want you to, care about your neighbor, because they're just coming and singling us out individually and fucking going to drag us off. And there's a lot of people right there, right now, think everything's okay. Now, let me tell you something. Be very wary of what's going on, and keep a close eye on it, because your rights are going to disappear. You assholes that are cheering us on with no thought that where is this really going. Every one of us probably has relatives somewhere along in our family trees that fought for our freedoms. Just saying, they're all going to disappear. Mark my words. One by one. You're not going to be able to travel freely without explaining where you're going. You have cards, passports, vaccines, and everything else just to, go down the street almost. It's going to get bad, I'm telling you. We're heading into tribulation, flat out. That's the only thing that can be happening right now. And Trump has totally changed in a lot of ways, whether people are willing to admit to that. There's a lot of people that are so gung-ho with Trump that he can do no wrong. What if you're getting fooled? That's all I'm saying. Did you ever think that? Maybe you ought to the same people would be like, oh, you got to be a critical thinker, but you can never even think that, even for a minute. You're so full of, wait a minute. I might have to go to work and finish this another time. Wait a minute. Hang on. Okay. Hang on. Okay. I gotta get going. What I'm trying to say is, better pay attention, because our rights and our Constitution's gonna get shredded. Already is, in a way. Have a good one. I gotta get rolling.